Hello students, here I am to teach macroeconomics. Today we will start the second chapter of macroeconomics. In this chapter, income determination or determination of income and employment is studied. This is the largest chapter in your syllabus. 12 marks allotted for this chapter. So it is very conceptual chapter also. So try to understand. We will start with some basic concepts. Income determination is related to the concepts of consumption function and savings function. So we will start with the basic concepts related to consumption function and the concept of savings function. Here is, look at this diagram. Here is a consumption curve. Consumption curve means it is the graphical representation of consumption function. Income is being measured along the horizontal axis and consumption is being measured along the vertical axis. And we are observing a consumption curve. See why consumption is a function of income. This is consumption curve. What do you observe? Some special characteristics are being observed here. I am telling you, first characteristics, what we observe, the curve is upward moving. See, it is moving to the upward direction. That implies a direct relation between income and consumption. Whenever there is a direct relation between two variables, the curve must be upward moving. Number one. Number two, it is very important thing to note, this curve does not start from origin. See, this is the origin, but the curve is starting with an intercept, not from origin. That means when level of income is zero, consumption is not zero. Even when level of income is zero, there is some consumption. That implies consumption never becomes zero. Students, you are consuming, you are all consuming, but you have no income. Consider a beggar, he has no income, but he is also surviving and he is also consuming. So living body should have some consumption. As because consumption cannot be zero, consumption curve starts with an intercept, never starts from origin. Number two. Number three, when the curve is increasing, how does it increase? See, first income changed by delta Y, change in income. As a result, consumption increases. This is delta C, change in consumption. Next time, again we increase income by equal increment. Income increase by equal increment. This delta Y and here delta Y is same. As a result, again consumption increases. Delta C. But what you have to note here, initially change in consumption was higher, but now consumption increases, but change in consumption is lower than earlier. In this way, delta C is gradually declining. When you increasing income by equal increment, consumption is also increasing, but it is increasing at a decreasing rate. Whenever a variable increases at a decreasing rate, the curve becomes concave downward. So these are the three things to note. First, it is upward moving, direct relation between income and consumption. Second, never becomes zero, so start with intercept. Third, when increasing, it is increasing at a decreasing rate, so the curve is concave downward. This is all about consumption curve or consumption function. Now come to this diagram. This is the graphical representation of saving function. So we are getting a saving curve here. Like before, in horizontal axis we are measuring income, in vertical axis we are measuring savings, and the curve is upward moving. Like consumption curve, this curve also upward moving. As because the curve is upward moving, there is a direct relation between income and savings. We all know it. If income rises, savings rises. Number one. Number two, very interesting thing to note. This is origin 0, but the curve starts below the origin, from the negative part of the axis. That means savings becomes negative at the initial stage of income. I think you are now confused to some extent. Because negative savings, what is negative savings? Questions may arise among you. Yes, savings may be negative. Savings may be negative. Take an example. Suppose your income is 100 and your consumption is 80. So your savings, income minus consumption, 100 minus 80, 20. Positive savings. Now, if your income is 100 and your consumption is also 100, then 100 minus 100, y minus c, 100 minus 100, consumption, savings is 0, so savings may be 0 if entire income is consumed. Next, your income is 100, but your consumption is 120. Here current consumption is more than the current income. What is savings? 100 minus 120 minus 20. So savings may be negative. When current consumption is more than current income. So savings may be negative if consumption expenditure is more than the current income. Now the question is how the consumer needs this extra consumption expenditure. Where from they manage money? Your income is 100 but you are consuming by rupees 120. How is it possible? Actually it is possible by borrowing or by running down from past accumulated savings. So savings may be negative, and this is why savings starts with the negative side of the axis. Savings may be 0 when savings cuts the axis. In x-axis we are measuring income. When cuts the x-axis, that means here y is 0. What we are measuring in y-axis? Savings. So when the saving curve cuts the x-axis, y is 0, y means savings becomes 0 here. So savings may be negative, savings may be 0, and after that saving is positive. Above the axis, the curve is above the axis, so saving is positive. All possibilities are there. Third important thing to note, how does saving increase? Income increase by delta y. As a result, savings increase by delta s. Next time, again income increase by equal increment, but saving increase at a higher rate. So delta s is gradually increasing. Opposite thing happening than that of consumption. In case of consumption was increasing at a decreasing rate. But in case of savings is increasing at an increasing rate. Whenever a variable increases at an increasing rate, the curve becomes convex downward. So the savings curve, as it is increasing at an increasing rate, savings curve is convex downward. So this is all about consumption function and savings function. Now come to this diagram. Here, a very important discussion is here along with this diagram. Here, a consumption curve is given to you. C dash is the consumption line. For the sake of explanation, we assume is a straight line. C dash is the consumption line. Consumption line is given and you are asked to derive savings function or saving line from this given consumption curve. How will you do it? To do it, we do one thing. We just draw a 45-degree angle line. This will help us to explain how consumption curve gives us savings curve. We draw a 45-degree angle line. It is called line of equality. Every point in this line, Y is equal to C, income, consumption, equality line. Now from this CC dash, consumption curve, how will we draw the savings curve? First, when level of income is 0, there is consumption, OC. But if income is 0, this consumption is coming from borrowings. Suppose from borrowings, we say it is negative savings. So consumption OC is met by a negative saving OS. OC is equal to OS. So corresponding to this point C, we are getting the point S. OC is the consumption at 0 income, and for that there is a negative savings. OS and OC is equal. So from when consumption is C, saving indicated by this point S. Point number 1. Second point, come to this level of income Y1. At this level of income, the line of equality and consumption curve intersects each other. Line of equality states income is Y1 is equal to B1, and consumption line states consumption is also equal to Y1 B1. So at this point, income is equal to consumption. If income is equal to consumption, savings must be 0. So the saving line cuts the axis. When cuts the x-axis, that means saving is 0. So corresponding to Y1 level of income, B1 is the point of consumption. Corresponding to this point of consumption B1, we are getting a point Y1 where saving is 0. Now consider a level of income OY2. At this level of income, come to this consumption line. Consumption line states you Y2 C2 is the consumption. But line of equality states Y2 B2 is the income at this level. Y2 B2 is the income, Y2 C2 is the consumption. So this is the savings. Difference between them, B2 C2, this part is savings. This B2 C2 is savings, and this is equal to S2 Y2. We represent this savings here, S2 Y2. So this S2 point is coming from this C2 point. When consumption is C2, saving represented by this point S2. So we are getting 3 points. S when income is 0, this point at Y1 level of income, saving 0, and this point at Y2 level of income, S2 is the point. Just connect these 3 points, S, Y1 and S2, you will get the saving curve. So in this way, from consumption curve, you are getting a savings curve with the help of this line of equality. In this way, if consumption function is given to you, you can find out saving function. Later on, when we go to the numerical parts of this explanation, we will show numerically also. If one equation, consumption equation is given, from that we can find out the savings equation. That will be discussed later on. This much today. Thank you.